Today I want to show you how to create the table of contents for a book using GTP-4. And then we'll go through writing podcast questions with ChatGPT so you can talk the book very quickly. You'll use transcripts to then make the book into text from your audio files. You can turn those into blog posts with the transcript with the podcast interviews, but then you can turn all that content into a book very quickly. So the first step is to get some prompts, such as write a table of contents for a book about net zero and how businesses can reduce energy consumption. So I did that the other day with my brother who wants to write a book on this topic. It gave us really quickly this nice table of contents with 7 chapters and then some bullet points for each of the chapters. Then we went through and said to ChatGPT, write 6 podcast questions for a podcast about the introduction to net zero and energy reduction. It gave us these awesome little, or I should say long podcast questions. I go in sometimes and clean these up, make them a little shorter. So when you're on the spot in a podcast interview, you don't have to remember the whole question. You could just kind of shorten it up. But having ChatGPT do the work to get those questions quickly is awesome. So we did that, and we were able to quickly get a table of contents. And then we took it a step further and we said, let's add some keywords into this so that as we're talking, the content is full of high or medium level search volume keywords. So I use SEMrush or SEMrush. So I put in net zero into SEMrush, and here come a whole list of keywords. Net zero gets 8,100 searches a month. Net zero emissions, 1,600 a month. Net zero homes, and things like that. So then I changed the prompt to add including those keywords. And we'll now go to ChatGPT-4. And that's my first time actually using the new version. So try ChatGPT-4. And if you haven't used it before, it's basically like the Google search bar. It's a little place to input text. So I'm going to cut and paste my prompt, write a table of contents for a book about net zero and how businesses can reduce energy consumption, and use these keywords. Net zero emissions, what is net zero homes, carbon neutral versus net zero. You hit this little thing that looks like a paper airplane, and that basically tells it to go do the work. And it's working pretty fast. Table of contents, introduction, the path to a sustainable future, understanding net zero. Oh, wow, this is pretty detailed, a little more than the last version of ChatGPT. Instead of just bullet points under each of the chapters, it really gave a lot more definition to the subtopics. And as you can see, the keywords like net zero homes are in these questions or in the table of contents for the book. Then again, you just need to go and grab the headline or some of the sections for each of your chapters and ask ChatGPT to make your podcast questions. That's going to allow you to create a book really quickly by just having someone interview you, and your answers to all of these questions to make your book are going to be full of additional keywords and authority. So the issue in a way with ChatGPT is that it's scraping the internet to make the content. So SEO people are not 100% sure yet if it's safe to use. Google in the past has said that or AI content in general, they don't love it. It's kind of spammy. It's sort of like an article spinner from early SEO days. It's just so good now that people are much more tempted to use it. I think it was Bright Edge just did a study that said only 10% of SEOs, or maybe professional SEOs, are risking using it in their client projects or their most important domains just out of an overabundance of caution. Why would they do that? Again, because if Google starts penalizing this type of content, you don't want to burn your main domain name. So Google, right after ChatGPT came out, added an extra E to their acronym EAT. So now it's experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. So if you want your content to rank, Google is suggesting that you should show off how much experience you have, that you're an expert, that you're an authority, and that you're trustworthy with things like reviews. And if not only you want your regular content to rank, but you want your AI content to rank, it's even more important. So things like doing podcasts and videos and having a book, an about us page, a bio about yourself and what your expertise is, those are things that are going to make your content stand out in a world of push button AI content.